Did you know that some fruits, which seem like healthy choices, can actually wreak havoc on your sugar levels? It's surprising but true. In this video, we'll uncover 6 such fruits that could be disrupting your sugar balance so you can make informed choices for better health. Top 6 deadly fruits that look healthy but destroy sugar balance. Number 1, watermelon. First up, we have watermelon. Watermelon. That classic summer delight often masks a high glycemic impact with its refreshing taste. You see, it has a high glycemic index, or GI, typically around 76. This means its carbohydrates are converted into glucose and absorbed into your bloodstream pretty quickly. And while its high water content might seem harmless, the sugars in it, mainly fructose, glucose, and sucrose, can lead to a swift rise in blood sugar levels. This is especially true if you eat a lot of it, or if your body is sensitive to glucose changes. Now, when it comes to watermelon, portion control is absolutely key, particularly if you're keeping an eye on your blood sugar. A small controlled serving, say, a single wedge or a cup of diced fruit, might be okay for some. But let's be honest, the allure of this juicy fruit often means we eat several large slices, right? And that can deliver a pretty substantial sugar load, similar to a less healthy treat, rapidly challenging your body's ability to keep that glucose balanced. It's also interesting how the form you eat watermelon in significantly changes its impact. Eating whole watermelon gives you some dietary fiber. It's not a lot in this fruit, but it can offer a slight buffer against that quick sugar absorption. On the other hand, watermelon juice is a much more concentrated source of sugar because it's stripped of almost all its natural fiber. So, drinking the juice can cause an even quicker and more pronounced spike in your blood sugar, making it a less ideal choice for those with diabetes or insulin resistance. So, how can you enjoy watermelon more safely? Well, here are a few mindful tips. Try pairing a small portion of watermelon with a source of protein or healthy fat. Think a handful of nuts or a piece of cheese. This can help slow down how quickly its sugars are absorbed. It's also a good idea to avoid eating watermelon on an empty stomach, as this can make its effect on your blood sugar even stronger. And finally, opting for it as part of a balanced meal rather than a standalone snack can also help lessen a sharp glucose increase. Number 2, pineapple. Next on our list is pineapple. With its wonderful tropical zest and sweetness, pineapple is another fruit that can be deceptively tricky for managing blood sugar. Its glycemic index can vary quite a bit, generally falling into the medium to high range. We're often talking about numbers in the 60s or even higher, and this depends on where it's from, its variety, and very importantly, how ripe it is. A very ripe pineapple will usually have a higher GI because of its increased sugar content. This means it can cause a quicker and more significant rise in your blood glucose levels than you might expect from such a healthy fruit. And, just like watermelon, the way pineapple is processed also plays a critical role in how it affects your sugar balance. Fresh pineapple, when you eat it in moderation, keeps its natural fiber, which helps slow down sugar absorption. However, if you go for canned pineapple, especially the kinds packed in heavy syrup, you're introducing a lot of added sugars. This dramatically increases its glycemic load. Even pineapple canned in its own juice is more concentrated in sugar than fresh pineapple and doesn't have the same fibrous benefits. So, fresh is generally the better choice, though you still need to be careful with portions. So, to better manage pineapple's impact on your blood sugar, think about pairing it strategically with other foods. Eating pineapple alongside a source of protein, like Greek yogurt or grilled chicken, or with healthy fats, such as avocado or almonds, can help lessen its glycemic response. These additions slow down digestion and the release of sugar into your bloodstream, leading to a more gradual and manageable rise in glucose levels instead of a sharp spike. When you're adding pineapple to your diet, remember that moderation is key. Instead of large servings, try using small amounts to add flavor to a dish, maybe a few chunks in a stir fry or a small ring with a protein-rich meal. Always be mindful of ripeness, opting for slightly less ripe fruit if you're particularly sensitive. And of course, prioritize fresh pineapple over processed versions to help keep your blood sugar on a more even keel. Number 3, very ripe banana. Coming in at number 3, we have the very ripe banana. Now, bananas are certainly a popular and convenient fruit, but their impact on blood sugar can change dramatically depending on how ripe they are. While a slightly green, less ripe banana has a lower glycemic index, often in the 40s due to its higher resistant starch content, an overripe banana, with its soft texture and sweet taste, can see its GI climb into the high 50s or even 60s. This significant difference is really crucial for those managing diabetes or insulin resistance. The transformation a banana undergoes as it ripens is key to understanding its changing glycemic impact. You see, during the ripening process, the resistant starches in an unripe banana gradually convert into simple sugars like fructose, glucose, and sucrose. This conversion is why overripe bananas taste so much sweeter. They literally contain more readily available sugar, which is absorbed more quickly into the bloodstream, potentially leading to a faster and higher rise in blood glucose levels. For individuals striving for better blood sugar control, choosing firmer, less ripe bananas is a pretty sensible strategy. These greener bananas release sugar more slowly into the bloodstream because of their higher starch content, which acts more like fiber during digestion. While they might not be as sweet, their gentler effect on blood glucose makes them a more suitable option if you're looking to enjoy a banana without a significant sugar surge. Even with firmer bananas, portion size is still an important consideration. A whole large banana, even if it's less ripe, can still deliver a notable amount of carbohydrates. You might want to consider eating only half a banana at a time or pairing it with a source of protein or fat, like a tablespoon of peanut butter or a small handful of walnuts, to further slow sugar absorption and promote a more stable blood sugar response. Number 4, lychee. Moving on to number 4, let's talk about lychees. With their unique floral sweetness and translucent flesh, lychees are a delightful tropical fruit that can, however, pose a risk to stable blood sugar levels if not consumed carefully. Fresh lychee has a moderate glycemic index, typically around 50, which might seem manageable. Yet the real concern often lies with lychees preserved in syrup. Canned lychees can see their GI soar to as high as 79, transforming them into a high sugar trap due to the significant amounts of added sugar in the syrup. Portion control is exceptionally vital when it comes to lychees, whether they're fresh or canned. Because of their small size and appealing taste, it's incredibly easy to eat a large number in one sitting. Each small fruit contributes to your total sugar intake, and this can add up quickly, leading to an unexpectedly high sugar load and a subsequent spike in blood glucose levels. This is especially problematic for those with diabetes or prediabetes. If you enjoy the unique flavor profile of lychees but are concerned about the sugar, exploring lower sugar alternatives might be beneficial. Fruits like berries, such as strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries, or even kiwi fruit, offer sweetness with a lower glycemic impact and higher fiber content. While they're not identical in taste, they can satisfy a craving for fruit without posing as significant a risk to your blood sugar balance. For those who do choose to enjoy lychees, Serving ideas that promote moderation are key. Instead of eating them by the bowlful, perhaps consider using a few fresh lychees as a delicate garnish for a dessert, or adding a couple to a fruit salad that's primarily composed of lower GI fruits. This allows you to enjoy their distinct flavor in a controlled manner, minimizing the potential for an adverse effect on your blood sugar. Number 5. Dried dates. At number 5, we find dried dates. Dried dates are often praised as a natural sweetener and a healthier alternative to refined sugar, but they pack a potent punch when it comes to sugar concentration and glycemic index. Most varieties of dried dates have a high GI, often ranging from the high 60s to over 100 for some types. This means they can cause a very rapid and significant increase in blood sugar levels, making them a fruit to approach with extreme caution, especially for individuals managing diabetes. The drying process is what makes dates so intensely sweet and also what concentrates their sugars. As water is removed from the fresh fruit, the natural sugars become highly concentrated in a smaller package. While dates do contain fiber, vitamins, and minerals, the sheer density of sugar means that even a small serving can deliver a substantial carbohydrate load, impacting blood glucose much more dramatically than most fresh fruits. Given their high sugar content, it's really advisable to use dried dates very sparingly. If you choose to use them, think of them less as a snack fruit and more as a natural sweetener to be used in minimal quantities. For example, 1 or 2 finely chopped dates might be used to sweeten a large batch of oatmeal or a healthy baking recipe, distributing their sugar impact across a larger volume of food. It's important to remember that while dates are a natural sugar source, your body processes their sugar similarly to other sugars. Their concentrated nature means they can easily contribute to an excessive intake of calories and sugar if not carefully monitored. For those watching their blood sugar, relying on them frequently or in large amounts as a go-to snack can undermine efforts to maintain stable glucose levels. Number 6, figs. And finally, at number 6, we have figs. Figs, whether fresh or dried, are a deliciously sweet fruit that can also influence blood sugar levels, requiring mindful consumption. Fresh figs generally have a medium glycemic index, typically around 61. Dried figs, on the other hand, have a similar GI but a much higher concentration of sugar and carbohydrates because the water has been removed. This concentration means that dried figs, in particular, can lead to a more pronounced blood sugar response if you eat them in quantity. The comparison between fresh and dried figs is crucial for blood sugar management. Fresh figs contain more water and are less dense in calories and sugar per serving than their dried counterparts. So, while still needing portion control, fresh figs might be a slightly gentler option. Dried figs, however, offer a very concentrated source of sugar, making it easy to consume a large sugar load in just a few pieces. This poses a greater risk for blood sugar spikes. Moderation and mindful snacking are paramount, especially when it comes to dried figs. Due to their sweetness and chewy texture, it can be tempting to eat several dried figs at once, but this could quickly elevate your blood glucose. Limiting yourself to 1 or 2 dried figs as a rare treat, or using a small amount chopped into a larger dish, is a much more prudent approach for those with diabetes or insulin concerns. If you enjoy figs, consider incorporating fresh figs into your diet in a balanced way when they are in season. Try pairing them with protein or healthy fats, such as goat cheese or walnuts, to help slow down sugar absorption. And always be conscious of the serving size, even with fresh figs, to ensure you can enjoy their unique flavor without negatively impacting your blood sugar control. Understanding glycemic index and sugar balance. So, Let's take a moment to understand a bit more about the glycemic index and sugar balance. The glycemic index, or GI, is a scale from 0 to 100 that ranks carbohydrate-containing foods by how much they raise blood glucose levels after being eaten. Foods with a high GI are rapidly digested and absorbed, causing a quick and significant rise in blood sugar. Understanding a food's GI is particularly important for individuals managing diabetes or insulin resistance, as it helps in choosing foods that promote more stable blood sugar levels. Generally, foods are categorized into low, medium, or high GI. Low GI foods, meaning those with a score of 55 or less, are digested slowly, causing a gradual rise in blood sugar. Medium GI foods, that's a score between 56 and 69, have a moderate impact, and high GI foods, which score 70 or more, cause a rapid spike. Prioritizing low to medium GI foods can be a key strategy for effective long-term blood sugar management and overall health. How fruit processing affects sugar content. Now let's touch on how fruit processing affects sugar content, because this is really important. The way fruit is processed can dramatically alter its nutritional profile and its impact on your blood sugar. Whole, fresh fruit is generally the best option as it contains natural fiber, water, vitamins, and minerals, all in their original balance. This fiber slows down the absorption of the fruit's natural sugars, leading to a more gradual rise in blood glucose compared to processed forms. Juicing fruit, for instance, removes most of that beneficial fiber, leaving behind a concentrated sugar solution that can cause rapid blood sugar spikes. Canned fruits are often packed in sugary syrups, adding a significant amount of refined sugar that negates many of the fruit's natural benefits. And dried fruits, while they do retain fiber, are highly concentrated in sugar and calories due to water removal. This makes portion control extremely important to avoid overwhelming your system with sugar. It's always a good idea to check labels for added sugars in any processed fruit product. Tips for enjoying fruit without sugar spikes. So, what are some tips for enjoying fruit without those dreaded sugar spikes? Well, one effective strategy is to pair your fruit with foods rich in protein, fiber, or healthy fats. For example, adding a handful of nuts or seeds, a dollop of plain Greek yogurt, or a slice of avocado alongside your fruit can slow down the digestion and absorption of sugars. This leads to a more moderate glucose response. Furthermore, strict portion control is absolutely essential, regardless of the fruit's GI. It's important to be aware of recommended serving sizes, which are often smaller than people typically consume. Opting for lower GI fruits like berries, cherries, apples, and pears more often than higher GI options can also make a significant difference in maintaining stable blood sugar levels, all while still enjoying the nutritional benefits and delicious flavors of fruit. In conclusion, navigating the world of fruit when you have blood sugar concerns really requires awareness and careful choices. By selecting your fruits wisely, diligently controlling portions, and understanding how different fruits and their preparations impact your body, you can continue to enjoy nature's sweetness without compromising your health. We hope you can use this knowledge to empower your dietary choices. Found this presentation helpful? We encourage you to share it with friends and family who might benefit. Subscribe for more insightful health tips, and don't forget to comment below with your favorite low-sugar fruit swaps or any questions you might have.